everybody. It's hold on. All right, that's better. Hey, everybody, welcome back to our daily creative challenges. Today is day 9. It's our last day. I've been so excited to be with you. If this is your first day, this is the last day of the challenge, but my name is Andrew Hockrattle. You can just call me Hawk, and I have been your host for the last 9 days. Hello, friends in chat. Hello, Peter. Hi, Peter, Eric, Larissa, Jesse, Valdair, obviously in there. So thank you so much for coming to hang out. You guys are awesome. It's been so much fun. Let's hop in and talk a little bit about what this is. If you're scrolling through YouTube in the future, hello, future person, you can check out the rest of the lessons that we've been doing over in the playlist right over there. Watch all those. You can still do the lessons. And when you do the lessons, you can actually go ahead and you can post them to Behance. Oh, look at this. What's this? My Behance page, hawk.co. Just published a new case study this morning if you want to check it out, or if you're in the future, not this morning, in the past. But if you're working in the future and doing these challenges, you can still tag AI Daily Challenge, and maybe just make sure that you put daily challenge, what day it is. December, you can just put Hawk in there, and I'll be like, hey, what's up? But you can post your daily challenges here using the tag AI Daily Challenge. Registration is now closed, but if you want to, you can go back and see what we have been doing this week. And just to recap, well, we talked about a lot of things. The first week, we talked about visual communication. We used donuts to talk about type, icons, indexes, and symbols. And then the next week, we moved into the pen tool, started getting a little bit more technical. And today, we're moving into creating stationery. Going to be fun. If you saved your logo that we created last week in the symbols, which was day 4, you can use it today on the challenge and show me how you have been progressing. All right, so we, of course, on this stream, I like to show things in the real world. So today we're building Letterhead, and a key aspect to creating Letterhead for me in my process is using something called clipping masks. And sorry, before we get into clipping masks, I forgot to tell you guys, you can go ahead and hop into Discord right above us, bit.ly/AI Discord. This is where we're chatting, this is where we're talking, and you can see here people have been posting a lot of their work from the last few days of challenges. Here's a great one by Artie Muse. This is what we're doing today. Artie Muse, you did an awesome job on this. You probably did it better than we're going to do it on stream. You had a little bit more time, but I absolutely love it. Always nervous about right-align type, but you made it work here, which is great. We're going to talk a little bit about type hierarchy as well. One more housekeeping thing. So we will also be doing a survey at the end of this, which is today, to let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want to see more of, and how you want to be engaged in the future. So you can go to either of the links up here. You can go to www.hawk.live or just hawk.live, and it will redirect you to getfeedback.com/r to that link. So either of these links, hawk.live will redirect you there, or you can go directly if it is not working for some reason, which on this stream, it may not. All right, now let's hop in. And as you know, on my stream, we always have to have some kind of real world application to explain the digital. Hello. Oh, it's lagging a little bit. I'm so sorry about that. So sorry about the lag. Hopefully it will fix and pick back up. We're going to look and move to our camera 2. So I'm going to go ahead and put the keyboard away. There we go. And I'm going to grab what's going on over here and cut to, boom, camera 2. So this here is the cover. It's my album cover of West Side Story. Sorry, not my album cover. This is an album cover of West Side Story. And on this album cover, I'm going to go ahead and close some windows here. Sorry, guys. I'm a little bit distracted going back and forth, trying to get the lag up. If you stop talking, it will resync. Perfect. Got it. All right. Yes. So sorry about that. That's the inside joke. Great. So This is the album cover. It was designed by Sal Boss for West Side Story. Sal Boss, amazing designer. Go look him up if you haven't. Absolutely incredible. One of my favorite designers of all time. So let's talk a little bit about clipping masks. Basically, what a clipping mask is it's taking an overall piece and cropping it into a certain area. So if this is our overall piece here, this is maybe the entire picture that we have. But when we're making letterhead, we want to possibly take just a piece of that. So let's go ahead and use our handy dandy, let's hold it up here, our handy dandy clipping mask. We're going to clip out just my face. So our clipping mask that we've made is basically going to cut just a piece out of what we have. So let's say we want to crop in on just the dancers. Now this clipping mask is basically saying only keep the things that's inside this space. It's not making it so that it's a wide, giant, keep everything. It's just this space that will be visible. And let's see over here, since we're talking about type hierarchy, if we just want to keep the names, we can do a clipping mask to just have the names. And now this looks like its own piece outside of the entire composition. So this is a great way to kind of play with and tighten up some of the designs you're working with. A lot of times when I'm working in Illustrator, I work super sloppy. Like I literally will work off the artboards, I'll work all over the canvas, I'll have 6 artboards where things are overlapping. And what I like to do is create clipping masks to help bring all of that together, right? Just like a Jane Fonda workout, it's going to tighten everything up. So let's hop into Adobe Illustrator and start looking at what we're doing today. All right, so of course we have to start with our affirmation. There's one of these in every single lesson for these 9 lessons. Today, signed, sealed, delivered, because chat, I'm yours. That was sweet. Oh, sweet. Love you guys. All right, so today we will be creating stationery using type, color, and logos. We are going to design a branded business stationery. Branded business stationery. Here's what we're going to do. Let's combine all of our lessons to create a stationery set, including letterhead, business cards, and maybe an envelope, depending on how far we get during the next 20 minutes. We'll try creating multiple color versions for extra practice. Now again, this is like your final. If you have done all the lessons, we are going to combine all of them together. You should have a logo, you should understand how to use indexes, how to use color, blending modes, how to lay out type. And so we are going to put all those together today and make some letterhead. All right, so first we're gonna do, oh man, oh Bonnie, you made me laugh on stream, great. So first what we're going to do is we have our artboards laid out here. So these artboards are great, but when we're printing something in the real world, let's say that we want it to go all the way to the edge. Right? We have a color that we want to go all the way to the edge. And the problem with this is we actually want it to go past the edge, because when they cut it, they want to have the extra ink on there so there's not a weird white line anywhere. So we're going to do something called setting up bleeds, which is this red line that's right around here. We're going to go to File, Document Setup, and then right here in Document Setup, we can turn on our bleeds. And usually I use a 0.125 bleed. That gives just enough space around the edge for the printer when they print it to be able to cut and have that color bleed over onto the edges of the paper. So you can see now we have this red line, that is our bleed. Again, today is going to be a little bit technical as we go through things, but I hope that you can keep up and I hope you can use this knowledge in other ways. Yes, full bleed, baby. Yes, Kathleen, exactly. Always want that full bleed. So we're going to start working with our letterhead, but first I want to kind of play around with the layout. And a lot of times I'll just make boxes and say, you know, I want something here, I want something here. But what I'm going to do is I'm really going to try to lay out exactly where I want things using guides. Guides are super, super powerful in Illustrator and a great way to see what you're doing and where things are going. Now, when I don't want shapes there, I can actually drop in guides to show me what my ideas were. So it's almost like wireframing if you're working in XD. Same idea, a little bit different. So we're going to make a box because I think I want some of the stationery to have a header up here. And then I think down somewhere in this space, let's do that much. So we're going to do, probably it's like a fifth of the page, have some little elements down here, a little bit of branding. I think that'll be fun. And then I want to make sure that I can find the center of this just in case I want to center align things. We're going to go over the alignment tools as well. So let's go ahead and go to View, Rulers, and Show Rulers. Right now my rulers are showing, but here it would say Show Rulers. You can also hit Command R and it will pull up those rulers for you. And we know that this is 22 inches. That's interesting size, Andrew. Great job. Should be 8.5 by 11. But we are going to find the center of what this is. And usually what I like to do is I will grab my ruler and this shape down here will actually show me the center. So I'll align that to the center and you can see that it has started to make a guide. Now this guide, we want to go into View, Guides. If they're not showing, you can turn on guides, but what we want to do is we want to lock these guides. That way, as you're dragging and trying to select things, you won't accidentally select them and move them all over your artboard. So we have our guides, and we actually want to turn these into guides as well. I didn't know this for a long time, but you can turn shapes into guides. So we have our wireframes here, and we're going to go to View, Guides, and Make Guides. And now you can see that these are just guides. They're no longer shapes. They're no longer selectable. We can turn them on and off so that we can't see them, and they will not print, but we know exactly where things are going, which is very nice. So let's start working on our letterhead. And the first thing we're going to do is something that's super on trend. I don't know if it's on trend as much as like you just see it all the time, is we're going to grab the pen tool and we're going to do like the rolling hills. And I say that and you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. We're doing the rolling hills letterhead. So we're going to start off the canvas and just click and drag to the right. We're holding shift, and what that's doing is it is telling us which way the line is going. So we're going to do another one down here, again holding shift, pulling all the way to the side. And now we're going to very sloppily just toss that off the edges, right? So we have our guide here knowing, okay, that's about where we want to go. This feels a little weird for some reason. Let's pull this down a little bit. There we go. So it's got a nice little swoop to it. And we're going to do one more. Again, trying to work within this space of the guide that we have established. Doesn't matter if you're outside the artboard doing weird stuff over there. Let's do that. And again, we're working very sloppily, just tossing things all over the place. There we go. And what I'm going to do, these are both green, but going back to our other lesson, using opacity masks or using even blending modes, we can change this to multiply. Now we've got a kind of overlap, not quite what I want. I want something that's like soft and airy, that's like, ooh, like we're in the forest or like a giant field. So I'm going to change the opacity of these to 10. Actually, let's do 20. Why not? I'm feeling crazy today. So we changed the opacity to 20. You can see that it has this nice little almost like watermark look, but these edges are like real nasty and weird, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to use something called a clipping mask. And a clipping mask, we've been doing a lot of this, is basically putting a shape on top, and instead of punching it out like we've done with the Pathfinder tool, we are saying, no, keep this part, right? Just like we looked at with our little object lesson, we just want to keep the right part. So let's look here, and we are going to make a rectangle. We want this rectangle to go all the way to the edge of our bleed. So it's not necessarily going to the edge of the paper, it's going all the way to the edge of the bleed. We're going to make sure that all of our design is in or being covered by this shape here that we've just created. Oops, put a stroke on that, there we go. So we want to make sure everything's covered by this shape, and we are going to select all of the things. Now remember, yes, clipping mask is basically cropping in Illustrator, 100% Kathleen. What we're going to do is it's going to crop everything into the top shape. So whatever is on the top is designating what is getting taken away. So we are going to make clipping mask, and now you see we did it. We have our nice little swooshy swashes, and it is all set at the bottom here, which is great. So I'm actually just going to grab this and move it onto our business cards. And so we're going to move it here, but it's a little off center. I didn't drag it quite right. So we're going to select this and make sure that the line around this artboard for the business cards is black. If it is gray, That means, so let's say, oops, let's do that one more time. I'll drag it over. There we go. And again, we're clicking, dragging, holding Option or Alt, and it is making a copy of it. So now you can see this is selected, but the artboard is gray, which means that we're still working on this artboard. And if you go to Window, Align, it's going to pull up our Align panel here. And you can see, because we still have the other artboard selected, if we try to align it to the business card, it's going to align to that top artboard, right? That's not what we want, not at all. So make sure when you drag something over, you click on that artboard to activate it so that it has that black border. Now we're going to go ahead and click this to the center. And so in the Align panel, you can align to the left, to the center, to the right, top, middle, bottom as well. You can also distribute objects so that they scale and move across an equal width or height. So let's go ahead and align this to the center, but we've got a bunch of extra kind of on the sides. The great thing about clipping masks is they are non-destructive. You can keep working with them and keep adapting them. All we're going to do is we're going to double click on that shape. And if we go into outline mode using Command Y, you can see both all of the shapes that are happening outside and the shape that we are cropping things into. So we're going to go back into Command Y, and we're going to select just the bounding box. So just the bounding box, that's just the part that is cropping, and we are going to head and drag it in using this handle over here. And again, we're holding Alt or Option, and it's pulling in from the middle. So there we go, close enough for me. Now we exit isolation mode by double clicking anywhere else. And now we've got a great resize. Let's say, you know what? I want this same rolling hills on my envelopes. They give me a sense of peace, and I want to bring that peace to all of my clients. Again, we're going to drag it down. We are going to click on the artboard to make sure it is active, and we are just going to align it to the center, and I'm going to bring it all the way down to the bottom. This clipping mask isn't quite hitting the edge, so I'm just going to double click on that and stretch the clipping mask holding Alt or Option, and there we go. Now we exit isolation mode. Everything is sized and fitted, and I have that locked, so I'm going to go ahead and put that to the front. Oop, there we go. So now everything is sized and fitted. Super easy to lay out some letterhead very quickly. So let's go ahead and hit Command colon or semicolon, and it will turn off all of our guides. It will turn off all of the bleeds, all the extra stuff, so we can just see what we're working on. So let's go ahead and add in a logo here. If you're using your logo from the other day, you can do that. I am going to just make one up right now. Wow, what a great logo. This is looking gorgeous. We're going to do a little line here. And you know what? We're just going to punch this out. All right, wow, what a logo. All right, it's beautiful. Someone buy this from me, please. I'm poor. All right, so let's go ahead and you know what? Let's set it like right here. It's got a cool little tent. And when we're laying out type, you want to be thinking about a hierarchy. You want to be thinking about what's most important, and that will be biggest, the boldest, and then what is less important as we go down from there. So let's go ahead and drop this over here. And then maybe the company name would be most important. So we're going to grab the type tool, just hit T, and we are going to click once because usually the title is going to be pretty short. We won't need a full box for that. I'm going to set it in titling because we've been using that a lot. Hopefully you've downloaded it from Adobe Fonts. It's beautiful. And this company is going to be called Campusaurus. There we go. Campusaurus. So right now our text is aligned to the left. We want to align to the center. So what's great is we can just go ahead and click up here in our paragraph panel and hit Align Center. Now that's going to take what the line of the text is and move it over. And now we're going to align to the center of our artboard. There we go. We're going to grab this same green color because we like Campusaurus in that color. And then we are actually going to click and drag out a box, and this will be for the information. So we can say, you know, this street, maybe put a phone number, and then maybe put a website. There we go. We're going to make this a bit bigger. Oops. Space it out a little bit. Why not? And again, using the Align tool, we're going to align to the center, and then I'm going to bring it just down here. And using our hierarchy, let's make this actually a little bit smaller. So right there. A little bit regular. And there we go. We have some semblance of letterhead. Now it's great because we've used clipping masks on all these things that we can drag these elements and put them onto these different pieces for business cards, to put the type to match on their numbers, their names. If I'm making a business card for me, again, we are using paragraph to align it to the left, right, or center, and paying attention to the hierarchy of the type being the most important thing, the biggest and boldest, the second most important thing, a little bit less, and then tertiary or extra information kind of down at the bottom even more. Now, when we go to export, let's turn our bleeds back on with Command semicolon. We can go ahead and we'll go to File, Save As, PDF. And when we go to save this PDF, let's go ahead and we'll just save all of them. We're going to click Use Artboards, and that will use the artboards we have designated to export these as a PDF. We'll hit Save, and we'll have this dialog box. And in here, we want to make sure that we go to Marks and Bleeds. And in here, we want to do at least trim marks and maybe registration marks. Trim marks are basically going to print larger and tell the printer this is where you need to cut. If we use the document bleed settings, then that will use the bleeds that we have designated to make sure that those are the settings. So we're going to go ahead and save this. I'm going to hop in, and I'm going to grab wherever to save that. There we go. We are going to open these to take a look at them, and you can see now that we have the marks and bleeds, we have the extra space over the edges, and we have this would be our letterhead with where the printer needs to cut it. So that way we have all of the technicalities taken care of as well. So that was a great lesson. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I had fun teaching it. I want to see your letterhead look so much better than this. This was from demonstration purposes only. Hopefully we understand the concepts, and then you guys can take it and, as Gordon Ramsay says, elevate the dish. I want you to elevate it, and I want you to post it and make sure to tag it on Behance using our tag AI Daily Challenge. Make sure that you are hopping into our Discord, bit.ly/Discord, and I want to make sure that as many of you as possible can hop in and take the Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge survey. You can go to hawk.live, or you can go to the link right here. I'm pretty sure that it is in chat or it is in Discord at this link or this link and this link. Those are the two links that you need to know today to hop in and continue to be a part of our community. I had such a fun time. Absolutely loved hanging out with you all over the last 9 days. You've done some amazing work, and I'm super proud of the stuff that I've been seeing and that's been coming through. I hope to see more. I'll still be lingering in Discord and giving you feedback and commenting here and there as I lurk in the shadows. But I really, really loved hanging out with you. And I will hopefully be back eventually. We'll see. Thank you, yes, Valentine, Super Mario. I do look like Mario today. Thank you, Tim, Cyan. Thank you, everyone. The familiar faces that we saw in chat each day. Cecilia. It was so much fun. All the links, yes, come hang out in Discord. The party doesn't stop now. The party is continuing over to Discord, and I only find it the perfect way to end this. We've sung on pretty much every stream. We're going to do a very emotional, like, fade out, dramatic. All right, here we go. As we go on, we'll remember all the times we had together.